So hey guys, my name is Katie, welcome to my channel, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. I will film a get ready with me / story time. So I get ready like this every day. I mean, I do my hair like this almost every day, and I do my hair like my makeup like this every day. And I paired it with a story time and one of the scariest stories in my entire life. And I don't know a lot of people. I actually don't know anyone that has experienced anything like this before other than me. So keep watching if you're interested in the content and give this video a thumbs up. The first thing I'll do is do my hair. I will then blow dry it with my Dyson Airwrap. I will then use heat protector that you just saw, and I'll straighten it with my GHD straightening iron. And for that I use my teaser or tangle teaser brush, so just to detangle before I do straighten it, so it's just like a way better finish. And I will then brush with my hair whenever I'm done straightening it, and I'll use my hair oil, which is an argan oil, and my hair just looks like this, and I wear this hairstyle every day. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'll put my hair back so that it won't get in the way. So while I'll do my makeup, I will tell you a story that occurred a couple of years ago when I flew in an airplane, and the airplane catch fire and one of the engines burned, or yeah, it was burning. And yeah, how that occurred, and it's a crazy story. I still have nightmares. I still think a lot about it, and it's I don't know. I'm just gonna start at the beginning and I'll tell you while I do my makeup. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'll use my CC cream by It Cosmetics in the shade Light. I'll then apply it to my face. It's a lot of makeup, but that's how I do it. I'll then use just a regular makeup brush, nothing special. So a couple of years ago I went to Albuquerque, where my friends live, and I like flew there with a program from my city. Basically went with a couple of like young people, like teenagers, and some how do you call these people, like I don't know, they were like adults to basically take care of us. So we went there, and the entire time I basically spent my time with my friends in Albuquerque, and didn't really want to do anything with these people. Just rewatching this video, I'm so sorry. I sound like a terrible person, but I just said that I didn't want to hang out with these people. Yeah, I didn't mean that in like a bad way. It was just that the people in the group already knew each other, and they were like very close friends, and they were mostly guys. And we were just like, you know, looking forward to, you know, see my friends which live in Albuquerque, and then go to the mall with them and do stuff with them and their friends, and like hang out and all that stuff. And because they had like a very tight like program, like they went to museums and they had like all of these activities which we didn't really want to attend, so that was like the reason I said that. And I'm so sorry. These people were super nice, and I just didn't mean, you know, to say anything bad. It was just my fault of like saying the wrong thing, so I hope that you understand. I'm so sorry. Not because I didn't like them or anything, it's just I didn't know them, and I was basically going there to take my friend with me because she wanted to go too, and we were in this program, and since we were minors, we couldn't really go other than, you know, taking our parents with us. But my mom didn't want to have the responsibility, which is understandable, and her mom didn't want to go, so we decided to then go with this group. So we had an amazing time, you know, everything was fine. Another day, I mean, we spent a couple of weeks there. I don't remember exactly how like many days or how many weeks we stayed. I don't know, I don't remember, but it's not important anymore. Like, it doesn't really matter. So we've been there. And the day we left, I was like fighting with my friend and whatever, so I was basically she was then with the group, and I was basically like the only one that was just left out, because I didn't really know these other people, didn't really have much to do with them. Basically was in the group to you know, just go there as a minor and spend time with my friends in Albuquerque, to like spend time with my friend I took, or like that I like went with. So we then had to fly back to Germany, obviously. So we went to the airport, everything was fine. I mean, I was not talking to my friend, and she was basically with a group, and then I was on my own because I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just not gonna feel uncomfortable. I would just rather be on my own. So basically was there on my own. I mean, they were around, but like just spent some time with me on my own. I was already like mentally like I don't know, I was sad. Like I was set to leave. I was set to leave my friends. I was sad that I had a fight with my friends and all that, with my friend that I was with, all these things. So we then went to the airport and then took a plane from Albuquerque to, I believe it was Denver or it was Dallas, but I'm pretty sure it was Denver because Dallas airport looks different than the airport that I remember in my memory. So yeah, so I believe, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but yeah, we flew from Albuquerque to, let's say, Denver. From Denver, we were supposed to take an airplane overseas to London, I believe. I think it was London Heathrow, so yeah, not sure, but pretty sure. So we then, you know, got on the plane, everything was fine, we were seated, and then we flew the like typical route you would fly, and then we kind of were on the airplane for a couple of hours, for about like 2 or 3 hours. I don't quote me on that, okay, but we were on the airplane for quite some time, until I've noticed, you know, the stewardesses, you know, not serving drinks anymore, not asking if someone wants to eat something or whatever, and they looked concerned. They were running around. They were like on these, what do you call these, like walkie-talkie things, telephone, I don't know what they use in the airplane, like, you know, these like phones that you have on the wall, and then like talking, and then one was running to the pilot and then back into the pilot like cabin and then back, and like running around being like, or looking very like stressed out, like, no, not stressed out, but like nervous. She was nervous, you could tell. And I'm one of these people, like I pick up like people's like vibe so quickly, and I mean sometimes it scares me, but honestly I think that's a gift because I'm just very suspicious a lot of times. So yeah, so anyway, so she looked concerned, and I was like, what's going on? I've never experienced that. I took several planes from, like, I don't know how many flights I even took from Europe to the US and back and whatever in my life. Wasn't a lot of flights in general, so never experienced anything like this. So at this point I was like, what's going on, you know? And I really couldn't, like, I could, but like I didn't talk to these people because I didn't know them and I didn't want them to be like scared and anything. So I was like, okay, what's going on? And I don't like vividly remember because it's like such a long time ago, like it was like a couple years ago, so my memory kind of faded. But basically yeah, they looked concerned for a very long time, for about like 30 minutes or so, until they made a statement and said, we were over Halifax, I believe. I mean, we were about to cross the ocean, so we were about to be up on water, like over water. So I think it was like Halifax, like around that corner. And they were like, okay, quick update, we need to take back the plane, or we need to change the route to go to Chicago. And everyone was like, okay, wait, what? Yeah, we need to change the flight. We can't go overseas. There's a problem with our engines. And I was like, wait, what? Like, okay. And so they've basically said that, and they said some other things which I don't remember, but they were basically very concerned and said like, yeah, we have some issues with our engine and we can't make it over the ocean, blah 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 blah. And I'm going to further explain what they've said after this whole thing occurred, once we were at the airport, because they didn't want to say that to, you know, make us be scared. So it's just like, okay, now I'm scared. So so they changed the route, or they changed like the direction, flew back to Chicago, and that took us about from there like an hour, maybe not, maybe less, I don't know, I don't remember, don't quote me on that. So we flew to Chicago, and this whole entire time the flight felt like very like weird, and it felt like very insecure, and I remember seeing like how do you say that, like, I don't know, I remember seeing something out of the window that was just like very like odd. I felt like something's wrong with their engine. I mean, they said that, but like something's wrong with the engine and you could actually physically see it. So I was so concerned, I was crying, I was shaking, I was like, you know what, this is weird. So as I said, we were in the air for like quite some time. So I don't know if they were even like losing gas. What did they even put in airplanes? I don't know. Kerosene? I don't know. I have no idea about airplanes. But like the fuel that they put in there, I don't know if they were losing some, because they sound very like concerned, and they didn't even serve anything to drink, nothing, for about like 2 hours in total. So that's just very unusual. Oh no, maybe more, maybe 3, I don't know, I don't remember. So they were you know, on the phone the entire time, and then the pilot even said something about like, oh yeah, we will have an emergency landing in Chicago, blah 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 blah. And they said some other things that really got me concerned. But you know, the thing is that my entire life I was so scared to like fly in an airplane, and then this situation occurred, and you know, the girl that I was fighting with at the time, who was my friend, she was sitting right in front of me, and the other people that we were in a group with, I sat next to them. So I started shaking. I don't know if they understood what was going on. I mean, they did, but like actually like be concerned. But I mean that we're concerned, but I'm one of these people. So yeah, so I don't remember if the people that were, I mean, some like many people were like crying, they were shaking, they were like concerned, they were like scared around me, and that made me feel even worse. And I remember sitting there, and I remember I knew that my mom and my dad would like wait at the airport in Germany for me, and then I'm there in an airplane, and I didn't even know what was going on to the engine. I didn't even know if we could make it, because that's how they made it sound like. And basically I'm so bad at telling stories like that, because this is like a story that occurred so many years ago, so it's so hard for me to gather all the information. I should have made a story like right after it happened. But I remember, yeah, just sitting there going crazy. I was crying, I was shaking. I was like, oh god, okay, like we might die, basically we were sitting there, and the thought in my head was like, make us, you know, be safe, you know, I want to see my mom again, like I want to hug her, you know, I don't want her to be like, where's my daughter and everything. And I know that every time I'm on an airplane, my mom, she would literally like, you can like on websites find the GPS data, and you would basically know where the airplane is. And when my mom did that, they didn't like change that back to Chicago. They basically said like it was gone, like the airplane was like not gone, but like there was no further information. It was just not tracked anymore. It didn't get tracked anymore for whatever reason. So I didn't know that at the time. She told me that when I got there, so she was concerned. Why isn't like the airplane showing up on the monitor? Why is there no further information? What's going on? What's going on? Going crazy, you know, praying and everything like that. And like I was there in the airplane just praying for us to like just like be safe, because you don't know, right? And actually I remember being on this, like, it felt like forever. The flight back to Chicago felt like forever for me. And I was like, please, just on the ground, please just be on the ground, airplane. I want to be on some freaking airport. I want to leave this airplane. Just, you know, get us home safe. So we then landed, or we finally landed in Chicago. Or like when we flew back to Chicago, whenever we got there, I saw, you know, I could basically see out the window and like see the entire like what's it called, airport. And all I could see was just like these sirens, like these lights being on these fire trucks. There were about like almost 20 fire trucks, and I'm not kidding. Not kidding. So we flew there and I was like, why are there so many fire trucks? And I thought about like, I mean, I could see something out the window, as I said, looking strange. I don't know if it was like the clouds, or if it was like I couldn't tell if it was the clouds, if it was the weather, if it was smoke. I couldn't tell. I just felt like it looked weird and looked different, as it usually does when you like look out of the window, right? So I was then wondering, seeing from above, and then praying, please, just, you know, every second we were in the air about to land, I was praying like, please just have like a soft landing, let everything be okay, let us like leave the airplane as fast as we can. Because as soon as I saw these fire trucks, I was freaking out, because I thought if like one of the engines or even two or whatever is burning, and there's gasoline in there or kerosene in there, and it'll catch fire, we will all die in it. It'll explode and we will burn. Like, I had all these like things on my head, like my head. Maybe it was just very unrealistic, but I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a pilot. I wasn't like actually involved in the whole process of like, you know, I was just a passenger, not knowing what was going on, and basically being left in the dark, because they wanted to make us feel safe, which is, you know, what they're supposed to do, and also extremely brave. I was like, oh my gosh, if I'd be on this airplane and I'd be working and something like this would happen, I could not even handle the situation. I'd freak out, I'd cry, I'd be hysterical. I'm not this person. I cannot handle, I mean, I can handle a lot of stress and like pressure due to like, you know, work and stuff. I can do that. Like, I'm extremely good at that, and I work very well under pressure. But when it comes to like, you might be die, or maybe something tragic happens, like, dude, I can't handle that. I'm just way too emotional for that. So actually I forgot to show you the products that I've just used, the concealer. And wait, let me show you. So the concealer I'm using, I don't know, it's almost completely used. It's this MAC concealer. I cannot see which color it is because I took out the sticker, so excuse that. But for my pimples, to cover my blemishes, I use this stuff, and I only use it because can you see it? It actually works in your favor to get rid of your you know, pimples. There's some like stuff in there that would make them go away. So I do have my powder. Yeah, it kind of looks messed up. That's because it fell down and it looks like this now. So I have it in like a Ziploc bag so it won't get everywhere. So I will then use another brush to like apply to my face, just a little bit, because since I'm an Accutane, my skin is drier than usual, and yeah. So I won't use a lot, as I said. I like this a lot, this like powder. It's so amazing. And I do have the Mercier translucent powder. Love that as well, but I feel like this one really does the job if you have like oily skin. It's perfect. It looks as natural as it could be. Love it. Can only recommend. I just need to look what it's called. Wait. It's called Double Perfection Lumiere Long Wear Flawless Sunscreen Powder Makeup in the shade 22 Beige Rose. And it's oil free. Mattifying compact powder foundation. Use wet or dry to adjust coverage. Oil free. I've never read that. I don't know if you could, or I didn't know that you could wear this wet as like a actual foundation. That's cool. Never did that. Should try it. That's kind of cool. Next step, I will apply my Hoola bronzer. You know, the typical one. And I will apply this now. Let's continue with the story. So yeah, let's continue with the story. So we then landed safely, thank God, and we had to wait in the airplane for like a little bit to like let them be able to put this, like, how do you call it, like this thing that they just put on the door where you can like go through the tunnel. Yeah. So that we could leave the airplane. As soon as that was on, we could just leave the airplane, and they said take all of your belongings, but you cannot get your bags that were checked in, like the you could only take like the one you had in your carry-on, but not the ones that were checked in and are in the luggage compartment, luggage thing, like, you know, the ones that you checked in basically. So we then, by the way, I am not a professional doing makeup. I just do it. I just do it. Yeah, basically that sums it up. I just do it. I don't know what I'm doing. But I don't know. I just do it and hope that it looks kind of good. So anyway, so yeah, we then got out of the airplane, and as soon as we got out, I felt like, oh my god, like I felt so relieved. And as soon as we got out there, one person, I don't remember who it was, if it was like a staff from the airport or someone that was in the airplane with us, I don't remember, basically it's telling us like, yeah, one of your engines like was on fire or something like that. Like they said that it was like, I don't remember if they said exploded or on fire, like they said something like this. And then they said like, yeah, that was like an issue. If you would have crossed, or if you would have started going over the ocean, which we weren't, we were over Halifax, as I said in the beginning, they said we couldn't make it, because then we wouldn't have enough kerosene or gas, or, you know, just some sort of whatever they put in there. I think it's kerosene, but don't quote me on that, because I don't have a clue. But yeah, so they were like, if you would have been anywhere, if you would have already crossed the ocean or crossed the border and would be over the ocean, it would have been too hard for you to even come back to Chicago and land here, because you would have some like problems with, you know, the kerosene supply, not supply, but the kerosene you've had in there. There was not enough there was not enough fuel on the tank for you in order to like get back, and you would have had an emergency landing somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Basically that's what they said. And they've also said, yeah, as I said, one of the engines made problems. So I was like, oh my gosh, thank God. I was like so relieved. And the bad thing was, well, oh my god, okay, the bad thing was we've got other tickets to put us on another airplane. The first thing I did was when we landed, I was just like calling my mom I was calling my mom saying like, you know, don't worry, we're in Chicago, we had this incident, I'm safe and I'll be coming home. And so she was concerned. I mean, she knew all about this because she didn't see us on the monitor anymore, as I said before. So, you know, she didn't know where we were. So she was concerned. But as soon as she knew, she felt very relieved. I did too, because I got to talk to her. So that was a huge relief. And in this moment, I felt so blessed for just being on this earth and just, you know, being safe and being able to call my family. At this moment, it was just like, I don't know, I appreciated all the small things and just being there, standing there, not having to be scared anymore, being able to call my mom and like tell her I'm safe. And I was just crying. I was just like, you know, so thankful for just being there. Yeah. So we were there, and we then went on another airplane. And I mean, I was so scared to just go. I mean, you've just got out of an airplane. You're in the middle of like America, having to be in Europe, and then you have to go on another plane right after you've almost crashed. So I don't know how many hours we've actually waited there. I don't remember if it was like a short time, if it was like a longer time. I do not remember. But they basically had to get like a different airplane and then basically change the flights or something. Like, I don't know if they just booked us on other flights, or if they did get like just like a backup airplane to just fly us over. To just fly us over. Don't remember that, but I remember that we just got different tickets, and then we just got onto like a different airplane to just, you know, fly home. I don't really do much to my eyebrows. I just try to like make them look even. Do they look even? Oh, yeah. For this, I actually used the NYX Professional Makeup Micro Brow Pencil. What does it focus? Okay, this one. I like it a lot, and in the shape taupe. I think it's taupe. I don't know. I'm now going to use my blush. It's MAC. It's in the shade Melba. And just apply that. So yeah, so we got on an airplane to finally go from Chicago to, I don't remember if we then went to Berlin directly or if we just went to London Heathrow. I don't remember, but I remember, you know, actually getting to Berlin, and my mom picked me up, and then we all gathered, and we were all so happy to just like see each other and like hug each other and like finally be home. And, you know, not finally be home, but like to, you know, be with my family and, you know, all that stuff. So I was so thankful. Yeah, we then tried to get our like luggage. We couldn't get it because it was still in Chicago. So we couldn't get our luggage, which was the least problem, honestly. I was just so happy to just be alive. And, you know, basically, I mean, this wasn't like a crazy story, but like for me it was crazy, you know, going through this, because yeah, I just now know that you never know what happens, and sometimes you just, if you're being scared, that's normal. Like, so before I was like, I mean, I was scared of flying, but I didn't have like severe anxiety. Like, I was like, okay, like, you know, it's scary, you know, go on an airplane, fly on an airplane. I mean, I was scared, but I wasn't like super, like, I didn't have like severe anxiety over it. But then I know people that have like severe, or I knew people that still know people that have like severe anxiety going on an airplane. And I was like, okay, well, that's kind of extreme. So I now know what these people feel, and I can understand it. So no judgment. used, oh, I didn't show you, right, what I just used today. I don't remember. I used this, this isn't like my favorite thing, but I just bought it because I needed one. It's this like brown mascara by Maybelline. It's doing its job. I like it, but it's not that I'm like completely obsessed with it. But yeah, I will now take my small mirror, my telescopic L'Oreal telescopic mascara. L'Oreal. This makes me mad. Okay, I'm back. Remove it with a Q-tip, and now we can go for some mascara. So yeah, I do actually have some other stories, or like one story that I can actually tell very good, because I think of it a lot of times, and it's not that long ago, and I really want to tell it. And it's just a very crazy story. It's crazy. You need to watch it. So oh my god, yeah, I need to film this. Oh my god, I thought about this so much, about like filming a video about it. Didn't feel good about it because it's kind of scary, and it's also like, it's a crazy story, and I will not say what it's about, but you'll see. I'll upload it in the next weeks, I think, because I was planning on like filming it very soon, so you can then, you know, go watch it. Okay, I'm gonna wait a second and then I'll apply my second coat. But yeah, so the other story is extremely crazy. It happened when I lived back in Santa Barbara, and it's a crazy story and it's very interesting, and I've never heard anything like this before, so you might as well stay tuned for this video. Oh my god, okay, yeah, I want to tell this story so bad. I told a lot of like my friends, and they were like, that's a crazy story. Oh my god, like that's so crazy. So I want to tell you guys. So yeah, so I'm almost done. I never really do anything to my lips. I don't know, since I'm on A.T.M, because I can just barely wear anything on them. So besides my Cormix Naturally Intensive Hydrating Lip Balm, which is the best, and I use it like so many times throughout the day because it like my lips get chapped so easily since A.T.M. So whenever I'm done with A.T.M, I'll like put something on my lips again, like, you know, lip gloss and all that stuff. I love that. So yeah, wait a second, I'll apply my second coat and we're done. Okay, now my second coat. Oh, my battery's dying. My battery's dying. Now my second coat. I'll be quick, it's about to die. So I'm now done with my makeup. Look at me, okay? Look, it's not perfect, but it's all I can do because I'm bad at doing makeup. I need to practice that. I really want to do it. I really want to know how to do it right. So yeah, so my camera's about to die. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, although it wasn't like that much of a crazy story, but it was a crazy story that I wanted to tell. So yeah, stay tuned for some other content, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and maybe you want to comment down below and tell me some of your crazy stories, or if you've ever had any experience like this. I really want to know. And then also don't forget to turn the bell notification on the notification bell. I always mess up these two words. So you will never ever miss one of my videos, and that's important because YouTube doesn't always like notify you whenever someone uploads unless you do click on this notification bell. And I love it when I get notified because I know I'm excited. I can watch my favorite YouTuber have it in like a new video, or like other YouTubers are really like. So yeah, so you'll never miss one of my videos, and I will definitely upload an insanely crazy like story time, so stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye guys.